2. And we are back. Guys, we are here back with this Risen show match between the Rhombus heads and Come Dawn. Come Dawn with a dominating game 1, really managing to take off this game. Decane is restarting his computer. Gopher is taking a bathroom break, so it will be a few minutes before we get started. But we were told to go ahead and start this bit. So, yeah, let's do it. Also, once again, congratulations to, I want to say it was Wonger Boy, who won the thing. Voodoo, how are you doing after game 1?
I'm doing good. I think we saw a lot of unexpected picks. We saw some meta picks, such as the Jarvan and the Xayah. There's specifically both bot lanes, but then we saw some unexpected, in the mid lane.
Yeah, but that unexpected pick did do well, but I don't think it would have done as well without the jungle supported guy. That mid-lane Katarina didn't get much jungle support, admittedly, looking over the review of the game that I thoughted the games myself as well. So from there, I didn't see much jungle support go mid for the side of the Rhombus heads. So you really have to think that it might have gone a little bit better for the Katarina, but that just more so could just be the map presence of Decane on that team.
Absolutely. And I think, you talk about that Katarina didn't get much help. That's because they were camping the Poppy top. I mean, Xin Zhao came, 3 times in the first 7 minutes? I mean, that's camp if I've ever seen it. I mean, they just didn't have the resources to apply pressure both mid and top lane.
Yeah, I would say you are correct there. I would say there was a lot of resources dumped into the top lane, especially when it is a Kled. You kind of need that. So now you have to think, are they going to swap up the style? Or are they going to keep this damage style, which didn't work? Or are they going to move to a more meta tank style? Because there are these picks like Maokai, Ornn, Sion, even Yorick to an extent has a more bulky build. Malphite even. I've seen Malphite work a lot.
Absolutely.
So all these picks come out.
Yeah, and one that's fallen out a little bit, but one that I would personally like to see is the Tom Kinch as a flex pick between the support and the top. I think specifically I've seen Tom Kinch against the Ornn, so maybe something like that.
I think that's a very niche pick. I think into Ornn it can do okay. It won't do like fantastic into Ornn. Nothing does fantastic into Ornn, but it does do well into Ornn. If you're looking at relatively, it doesn't get absolutely stomped by Ornn. That is, I think that you would go for the tanks like Malphite before Ornn. Also, I believe you were a little bit too close to the mic.
I hope that improved things, but
it did.
Also, as far as top lane, the Kled and the Poppy were both very unexpected, for me anyways. Perhaps, though, we might see, we mentioned the tanks. There are some lane bullies, though, on this patch. Specifically, no memes, Teemo has been a very popular pick in solo queue,
God.
with Ahri synergizing exceptionally well with Teemo's kit, as well as an Ahri Pantheon. A poke, ignite, Ahri Pantheon being very potent.
I don't see Ahri Pantheon being as good as Electrocute Pantheon because of how easily he can proc Electrocute and then follow up. That's an easy level 2 kill with Ignite. I don't see it.
I mean, Ahri is what's being run by the majority of high elo people checking probuilds.net and watching the streams, just because his Q, the spammability of Q for Pantheon with his laning pattern, Ahri does do very well, and Electrocute being on such a high cooldown.
Yeah, I can see how that would help, I guess. I think, I don't know, I guess I have, in that sense, I always think of Pantheon as a lot more offensively designed, so I always think of the more burst summoner skill. But I can see that Ahri can work. The game will be going on soon. We are trying to set things up. Again, we are waiting on the teams. This is not our fault. Blame them, not us.
Yeah,
I'm just
absolutely.
trying to throw everyone under the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're also waiting on them to set up the pro draft. As right now, there is no pro draft set up.
I believe that is Eldwist's job. I'll say you can still set up the draft.
Anyhow, though, we're talking about these top lane picks. I think bot lanes both showed a very strong. I think both bot lanes had a strong showing. Cumdon just had their Alistar or save the team. I saved my team. Just had better roaming compared to White Gold.
Yeah, and what we are going to do here is we are starting to settle into the pro draft. We are starting to load into that spectate. We will be in there in just a few seconds, looking at the bands that I expect to come out instead. I would think that in this situation, you can substitute that Talon for a Jarvan. I think that you can definitely do that because of the fact that your mid laner looked outclassed regardless of the pick. Go with a safe pick in this situation. Don't worry about those mid bans when the Jarvan is impacting the whole map a lot better.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that Jarvan ban. I think that's the correct call. I would be very disappointed to see a Mordekaiser ban, as I think Mordekaiser is more easily played into if they picked a regular mage opposed to the Katarina.
Yeah, Katarina having to go into melee range practically to get damage out, and even while picking up daggers, she does have, let's say, very little way to get out. We have 5 seconds until we load into bans. We will see in just a moment how they adapt their drafts. But however, it will start with Come Dawn on the blue side. I think that their bans, because of the fact that they're blue side, they can actually let a lot go. Because of the fact that the Rhombus heads need to focus down their mid laner and jungler, Come Dawn have a lot of flexibility in what they can ban. They can just target ban the whole time, leave up the picks like Ezreal and Ornn, and just from there be able to pick up powerful champions for this meta.
Absolutely, and right now it seems that they have elected to go again with the Leona ban, answered by the Yasuo, both very expected.
Yeah, I would say Leona and Yasuo the first 2 bans last time, first 2 bans this time.
Yeah, absolutely, and right now comes on looking for who their second ban will be. I think that they're good to go with their same strategy as last time, which they are doing.
I didn't think they needed to ban Ezreal when they could have picked it themselves. Maybe the AD carry is not comfortable in Ezreal, in which case the Ezreal ban is very smart. I think it's a good idea. We do see the Talon ban, which means that either that one of those bans from that last game will not get through. Either Jarvan or Ornn will get through to Come Dawn. Both picks are not necessarily an ideal situation that you want to get through. I didn't see that many Talon games go through. And the Jarvan is up. You have to think that Come Dawn, this is a first pickable champion.
Yeah, I think honestly, Team Rhombus might be baiting them somewhat. If they lock in Jarvan, perhaps they have a counter that they haven't shown that they're willing to take into it.
Yeah, and we are disappointed by the lack of Jarvan ban as they pick up Jarvan. Again, I don't really think, because of the fact that also Jarvan is flexible, you have to save that counter pick for your last pick. A Shen does come out, an early top lane pick for the top laner in Bomb Bomb, a far cry from the Kled that we saw last game.
Yeah, absolutely. Shen is a much more what I would consider a meta pick. The new Grasp of the Undying benefited him majorly. He is what I would consider definitely a power pick right now in the top lane, and what many others would consider a power pick as well.
Yes, we picked all today in Scouting Grounds. Xayah, a response pick in addition, so taking away the Xayah. I would say no, they picked the Xayah last game, so this is actually another Xayah pick. It worked out well last game for the side of the Rhombus heads. No need to change up the bot lane because the bot lane performed fairly well.
Absolutely.
But a Taric.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good pickup from Cumdon.
Are you ready for Sparkles? Are you ready? Are you just ready for that fabulousness?
Absolutely. I mean, Taric has been a popular pick here within this patch, 723, I think it is, although I'm not really sure. And then it's the Varus as well. So again, a strong lane for Come Dawn.
Yeah, one that you can't really engage on because of the fact of the not only the Cosmic Radiance, but you do, in addition, have the, I cannot remember the name of his E, the
Right.
stun for I'll say for Tarek, you have the heal, you have the Bastion for defense, you have a lot going for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now it looks like actually Team Rhombus is hovering that Elise and they will lock it in. And so I would not be surprised right now to see Come Dawn target the support pool.
Yeah, targeting the support pool it would be a very smart idea for Comdon. They don't have. I'll say you can get rid of the Alistair. You can also get rid of things from the mid laner of the Rhombus heads. Both of them would be good options. You could take away things like Thresh, Alistair. You could take away powerful mid lane picks like Malzahar. You could take away a pick like, say, I just totally forgot what I was going to
Like
say.
say
Like a
Maokai, like Team
Xerath.
Rhombus just banned.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking
Something.
about purely Comdon.
Right, I'm saying though that's something now Come Dawn. Oh well, Come Dawn wouldn't have considering that Team Rhombus already had the top lane. Excuse me there.
Yeah, that was to say for the Rhombus heads, Maokai needed to be priority. I was about to fall into that. But yeah, the Diana ban, again, another mid lane ban. Go in there. Malzahar could be another solid ban. Alistair, Thresh, all of them would be solid bans in this situation just because they fit into these meta picks and they work. So I think that here, Malzahar is probably the preferred option because of the fact it does deny the mid laner a very good pick. The Poppy is banned, so there is that gone.
Yeah, that's actually a surprise because I guess Poppy would do well into Shin, but I mean, I just see that being more of a wet noodle fight compared to the Kled, who was looking to get ahead before.
Yeah, the Kled really doesn't have that ability. The Poppy Shen would be a much more wet noodle fight, but in addition, Poppy can just counter the Shadow Dash by popping the Steadfast Presence, and we do see the Malzahar go away. Again, a very powerful pick. Wait.
That's just an error in pro draft. Both teams know that is Malzahar.
Okay, it did not lock in.
Yeah, that's an error actually sometimes with pro draft is you lock it in and then it has an error where it just will not display the icon or the name. But I think both teams are confirming that is Malzahar.
Yeah, that is a Malzahar. Either way, I was just
so
getting
Team
rid of
Rhombus
the
right now though picks the Blitzcrank, something I was not expecting to see.
Ha 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 ha.
A very big pick comp right now with the Elise Cocoon, the Blitzcrank pool. I mean, Team Cumdon is going to have to be careful.
Yeah, they really will, but the team fighting overall is better so far from Cumdon, just in the fact that they have the Cosmic Radiance, which can follow up the Flag Drag Cataclysm. So you have to look down. We do see the Mordekaiser picked again.
And notably blind picked. I mean, it's just I guess Cumdon is baiting them. Do you have an answer for this?
I don't know. I think that if you pick a standard mage who has any sort of disengaged CC, someone like a Lux, perhaps, someone like
A Syndra, an Azir.
Syndra, Azir, all of these champions can sort of get away from Mordekaiser fairly well. Granted, all of these are mobile, so they will get destroyed by.
And wait, this is a Mordekaiser top.
Oh
this
my
is
god!
Kog'Maw
Wait,
mid.
Or is it Varus mid?
One of the two. It's either AP caster, Kog'Maw mid, or AD caster, Varus mid. This is Mordekaiser top. This is Team Cumdon showing that they have flexibility with that Mordekaiser pick.
Yeah, there is definite flexibility there.
And
Guys, all you had to do is say for me to turn my microphone down. I can do that easily. Sorry.
And the Fizz is locked in by Team Rhombus. This is wow. I mean, that Fizz, whether it's Varus or Kog'Maw mid, if he lands that fish, they're dead.
Wait a second.
Oh, I see the error. That is not a Kog'Maw.
That is not a Kog'Maw. Mythic, I don't care. I say that is a mouse. I say that is a Malphite top lane for the side of Cumdon. So that is a Malphite. As I mentioned earlier, that Malphite is a very strong pick right now. It is a very powerful pick.
Absolutely. I think it's also worth noting, though, that Shin, I think, does particularly well into Malphite because if I remember correctly, his Q is not physical damage, and so he will still be able to trade effectively against Malphite.
Yeah, I think he will be able to trade, at least in the early game. But because of where the damage is focused, I think that most of the armor, a lot of what Malphite can just go in ahead and build is that armor that he loves. He could build a magic resist item here and there if the Fizz starts getting ahead, but most of the time you should just be able to. What's it? I'll say a lot of the thing you just really should be able to focus on the Zaya because in the late game, you're not as a Malphite, you're not really going to be able to. You're not really going to be able to be hurt by the Fizz.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, plus the Fizz isn't going to be looking to, put the fish on the Malphite. It would more just be cleaning up the Malphite after the fight's already over. So no magic resist really needed. The Elise too, I mean, won't really be able to do much to a Malphite.
No, they really won't. Honestly, Elise will just be there for the picks, just be there for that early game damage. We're just going to have to see what happens in this game. We have a lot to talk about. A very pick-oriented team composition from the side of the Rhombus heads. I would say a much more team fight-oriented composition from Come Dawn. They kept the Varus, they kept the Mordekaiser, they kept the Jarvan, but they swapped the Alistair for a Taric. They swapped the Poppy for a Malphite. They have a lot to go
Absolutely.
with.
And I think we would both say that we'd be surprised if Team Rhombus Head didn't invade here. I mean, they have the Blitzcrank Pool, the Shen Taunt, possibly the Elise Cocoon. I mean, this team comp just screams level 1 invade.
It really does.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how Team Come Dawn decides to answer that, whether they 5-man stack a bush or just do the typical star 5-man spread defense.
Then you really have to wonder what kind of how this game will play out. Again, I think in team fights you really have to give it for Come Dawn. I think that if it gets past that 25-30 minute point, that you really have to work for work towards that team fight, that 5-on-5 fight that Come Dawn will win. You have to pick someone off if you're the side of Team Rhombus Head.
Well, you say that, but they don't. I agree that they can't team fight, but this Fizz appears to be running teleport. So you have a Shen with teleport, a Shen with ultimate, and a Fizz with teleport. You're looking at 3 globals here. I mean, most Fizz do Lichbane, so this is a team that can definitely 1-3-1 come late game.
It really is. If it can 1v3-1 though, it will be able to push in these side lanes and be able to take towers. There's not as much wave clear as we would like from the side of Come Dawn. Most of their wave clear is on that Varus or that Mordekaiser, who really won't be able to 1v1 the Fizz as well unless that Mordekaiser is able to get ahead in lane. Remember that Mordekaiser did stomp a melee assassin last time, so you have to think, will it do the same this game?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously Team Rhombus felt comfortable enough to give the Mordekaiser over 2 games in a row and decided that they can play against it with Fizz. So, I mean, this is showing a lot of confidence by Team Rhombus's Shrek Wazowski.
Yeah, can you repeat that real quick? I heard about half of that. I don't know if my mic had issues or something, but I heard about half of it.
I was just saying how, Team Rhombus had let them have the Mordekaiser now 2 games in a row. And yet Shrek Wazowski of Team Rhombus decided to take Fizz into it, another AP melee assassin similar to Katarina. So he must be feeling very confident that he can play this matchup better than he did the last one.
Yeah, you have to think that he wouldn't pick the Fizz unless he's a little bit more confident in this. I wouldn't be confident in it because of the fact of how badly my Katarina got stopped. I would have gone for those range matchups that Mordekaiser struggles against. One of the reasons that his reign in the bot lane didn't last is because it only started because of the fact that he really was able to outdamage them because it was over 2 numbers. His sheer range just got him destroyed in the aftermath.
Yeah, I mean, Mordekaiser is balanced around the idea that he's a very kiteable champion. If you can just simply kite back, he'll never be able to damage you. And so Fizz definitely does not qualify for that. But, Fizz is maybe hoping that he can just out-damage him early.
Yeah, I say out-damaging him early will have to be the idea. You will have to try and out-damage him early if you are going to stop this Mordekaiser. If he gets ahead, you're done. You have the troll pull, yeah. But Mordekaiser will also be able to blow you up if you stick on him too long.
Absolutely.
But also that does come at level 6. As I was reminded, Mordekaiser does have a little bit of a stronger early couple levels, and he does have the better pushing power than Fizz in lane.
Absolutely, which I think it's also worth noting, though, that Fizz has a very juicy target for his fish. That Varus has no mobility other than his flash button. So when flash is down and the fish is up for Fizz, if he can land it, it's a kill, guaranteed. Which is Team Cumdon's main source of DPS.
It really is that main source of DPS. If you can get the Varus, then I think that team fights can swing onto the side of Team Rhombus heads. You really have to protect your Varus if you want them. You have to use it, but they do have a Taric, so that is a very easily peelable Varus because of how much peel can come out from Taric, from Malphite, from Jarvan to be able to protect him. He does also have the chains of corruption, and if Fizz gets caught by those chains, whew,
Absolutely.
That's gonna be a dead Fizz.
Which I think it's also worth noting, though, that the Shen should pair very well with the Fizz. The Fizz lands the fish and is looking to go in. Shen can just preemptively ult him, giving him a 500 to 800 health shield depending on level.
Yeah, it will. It's going to be hard to see. We'll have to just see what goes on.
Yeah, as we mentioned, though, it's not really that true team fight style, as we've repeatedly said. It is more the pick of the Fizz fish, of the Elise Cocoon, of the Blitzcrank pool, even the Shen taunt. It's more camp a bush, wait for them to walk by, gangbang them, and then move on and take an objective.
Wow, the terminology there.
Yeah, I guess excuse my rough language there, but
I was just making jokes, man. I don't think that's a word that we're not allowed to say. It's not like it's cursing. It's not like you said. Actually, I almost said something there. Rip. All right, so we are loading into game now. We are seeing it for the second game of this match between Team Cumdon and Team Rhombus Heads. Who are you picking to win based off draft alone?
Based off draft alone, I mean, I hate to do it, but I'm calling based off draft alone. It's Cumdon. I mean, it's just too hard to execute the team comp of Team Rhombus Head. However, if their skill shots are on point, as we mentioned, the Elise Cocoon, the Fizz Fish, the Blitzcrank Pool, they're going to snowball and they're going to stomp. But it all depends on those abilities to hit those key skill shots in clutch moments.
Yeah, it will require a lot of coordination to sort of pull off this composition correctly for Cumdon. But last game they showed they have coordination to be able to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And something we haven't really highlighted at all is this Malphite's either a great form of engage, but it can also work as a decent heal tool. Yeah, and I also think it's worth noting.
Malphite.
Yeah, I can attest that Comet Malphite is an exceptionally hard lane. Every time that Malphite queues, it's almost a guaranteed Comet hit. Because of the slow, him stealing your movement speed, it's actually almost guaranteed that Comet hits, especially in the early laning when you do not have boots. It's almost worth it in this matchup as the Shen to rush boots above all else so he can dodge those Comets.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that laning phase goes. Normally it does go for Shen just because he has the empowered auto attacks with the Q from Shen, with the Spirit Blade procs. So as we roll into game, why don't you introduce the blue side this time?
Yeah, absolutely. On the blue side, we have Team Cumdon with G Topher in the top lane playing Malphite. We have XNA Decane on the Jarvan. Kitros repeating himself on Mordekaiser. JZ Bai again repeating himself on the Varus. And then I save my team on Taric.
And on the red side, we have Team Rhombus Heads with Bomb on the top lane Shen, the OG Tim on the jungle Elise, Shrek Wazowski on the mid lane Fizz, Cookie on the AD carry Zaya, and White Gold on the support Blitzcrank.
Yeah, and right now, actually, Team Rhombus Head is looking to invade. It's notable that the ward from Team Cumdon did not spot them. So they're safe. They're wrapping around by the Krugs. They're going to wrap around. They're not going to see anybody. That Varus is moving down. This might be dangerous. Right now, Blitzcrank is going to look for that pool. Oh, they do not see him. Oh, actually, there's a little confusion going on. The Blitzcrank lands the pool on the Jarvan. Here comes the Shen taunt. Oh, and first blood goes to Varus right now, actually. bit of a surprise. Fizz Blitzcrank is forced to flash away. The bush stack by Team Cumdon proved very effective.
What you didn't see, what I think you may have missed there, that what actually led to the kill, was there was a massive 3-man dazzle from I Saved My Team that stunned up 3 members. I say basically all 3 members of the side of Team Rhombus Heads, including the OG Tim, who ended up dying. He was the closest one to I Saved My Team. He was able to follow up with both auto attacks. I Saved My Team really enabled his team there in that fight.
Absolutely, and I did miss that. I was kind of wondering what went on, but I was distracted by that. Blitzcrank was walking around kind of in a unorthodox path, and it was proving weird. Right now, though, some Fizz taking a bad trade in mid lane. Oh, and the pull actually lands right now on Tarek, and he lands that Dazzle instead. They're looking to trade back from the Xayah, but Varus is just abusing that Xayah. She trades on the Tarek.
Yeah, honestly, though, that Blitz is going to be a terror in laning phase just because of the fact that that next hook could kill either I Saved My Team or possibly lock up Jay-Z long enough to get the kill. Remember, neither of these lanes have Ignite, so it's going to be up to the 80 carries to deal out all the damage.
Yeah, and I think it's also worth noting that, you know, it's equal summoner spells have been used bot lane. Blitz and Tarek are both down Flash. The heal is down for Jay-Z compared to the Flash down for Cookie.
Yeah, that flash down for Cookie is huge just because of the fact that that Xayah doesn't have self-heal until level 6. So
right,
it's
absolutely.
Tricky.
And right now, though, actually, Elise is visiting mid lane, looking to go right now. The Electrocute procs on Mordekaiser, but Elise cannot line up for Cocoon. And actually, Mordekaiser is looking to turn this, forces the flash out of Fizz with the Ignite burn down, and the TP's coming in. The OG Tim will pick up the kill on Mordekaiser, but Jarvan will pick up the return kill on the Fizz.
And I think the way that this that Kidros is able to move around, just able to impact these fights, these 1v1s or these 1v2s that he should not be winning, just goes to show his level of skill as a player and how much he is sort of outplaying Shrek Wazowski at an individual level.
Right, absolutely. And Fizz is forced to TP back. I also want to note that was a very good TP by G Topher.
Yeah, it was a very solid TP, a very good zoning TP there. The Jarvan also able to capitalize off of that, the TP zoning off the OG Tim, and then that just allowed Decane to get Shrek Wazowski there on that kill. But the Mordekaiser already paying dividends in the fact that he was able to turn that 1v2 into a 1v1. Another thing that's
actually right now, Jarvan's actually looking to gank bot lane, but it appears as if Team Rhombus Head is able to get out in time.
One thing that is developing is a 12 CS lead for the Varus. They are not, despite having the much more early game dominant support, the side of the Rhombus Heads is not willing to they're not willing to commit here. They're not willing to pressure that lane and use their early dominance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's partly because, oh man, that Comet is doing work on Xayah.
Woo!
But, oh, Jarvan came mid lane, is visiting the Fizz, forces him to back out. Burn a tick of his corrupting pot. Actually, right now, though, the Jarvan face checks the Elise. Right now, the Elise is looking to get an execute, but Jarvan flags and drags away to safety.
Yeah, very good ability by Decane to not blow the flag and drag too early. Kitros is getting pushed in by this Fizz just because of the fact that Fizz has such a strong laning phase, but the more and more in this lane, the more and more you could see Kitros start to just scale up because of the healing that Mordekaiser has. The fact that he's able to heal from that shield and heal passively. I believe it is his W that is doing it. One thing that we haven't talked about so far is the top lane, where it's been a lot more even than I expected.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, actually, Blitz is getting that pull on the Tarek, knocks him up as well. Tarek will be looking to kite back with that E, that Dazzle, and it lands onto both. Looks like it'll save. The exhaust goes down onto Tarek, but Blitz cannot continue to go forward because that Varus is just eating him alive.
Yeah, the Varus is just dealing so much damage. I believe, the Varus took Comet, so it's not the pressing attack that's dealing out so much damage. It's just him being Varus.
Full lands, and here comes the Shin level 6. This was not expected. That Dazzle lands. The taunt comes in, lands it. Xayah will pick up the kill, but it does not appear as if they will be able to pursue and get the Varus kill as well.
Yeah, it's not looking good there for the bot lane. of Come Dawn, but the fact that one of them was able to get away despite the committal of the teleport from Bomb Bomb, I'm sorry, not the teleport, the Stand United, does show that they are not, let's say, they're not just going to roll over. They're going to try and get through this as strong as possible. And right now, they're still 16 CS up on that.
Oh, and actually, that fish right now lands onto Mordekaiser. There's a discrepancy in level. Right now, he's looking for that solo kill. He's going to proc that. Oh, but it does not appear actually to be enough damage to kill the Mordekaiser.
No, the Mordekaiser was able to survive there because of the heal from his E. He popped it onto a minion smartly and was able to heal up enough to survive the Chum the Waters, Troll Pole, and Dash combo that the Fizz put out.
Yeah, I think it's also worth noting that the reason that Shen was able to get the Stand United off was because since Malphite teleported mid lane for that first fight, that first blood, or not the first blood, but the first fight, he was able then to be at a level disadvantage, and so there was no ultimate from Malphite to cancel the Stand United.
Yeah, Decane missing his, I say, really wishing he had Smite there to be able to outsmite the OG Tim. Even though the OG Tim actually missed the Smite, he was still able to pick up the red buff there. That's not a buff you want taken from you if you're Jarvan.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think it's worth noting, though, that Jarvan's picked up an early longsword, indicating that he will be going for a warrior build. What do you think of this, Hyper?
I think it works out because of the fact you are going to have a little bit of a tankier lane here that isn't going to be looking to bully out. Like, Malphite isn't able to give out a response damage like Poppy.
Yeah, actually right now, though, Blitzcrank actually is going hard on this Taric. Taric is not yet level 6, and it looks like they're hopefully going to be able to pick up a kill. Taric is forced to flash away. That flash cocoon by Elise forces the flash out of Varus. Trade of flashes between the jungler and the AD carry.
Yes,
well, right now, actually, the Chum the Waters is landing on Mordekaiser answers with his own ultimate. There's a level discrepancy. Oh, excuse me, now Chum the Waters. Weird visual display. But the Ignite goes down onto Fizz, forcing him to use the Chum the Waters defensively.
The heck?
Yeah, actually, Mordekaiser is flashing forward, and Kitros picks up the solo kill on Trek Wazowski. And right now, that Varus has been pulled by the Blitzcrank. Here as well comes the Cocoon onto Mordekaiser, and that's a pickup kill for them. The dunk, though, coming down, killing the OG Tim by G Topher, and XNA is going to slay Bonbon. So, a large series of events equating in the fact that Jarvan picks up 2 kills, I believe, and Malphite picks up another.
One massive thing, though, about this is you have to look at the mid laners right now. That is 4 assists for Kitros. He has 100% kill participation, and he's got the gold to show it. Despite being down almost 20 CS, he does have the Bilgewater Cutlass and an Amplifying Tome to show for all that he's got. Whereas the Fizz just has the Sheen and the Amp Tome. That's actually a gold win for the Mordekaiser, who's currently up until that last bit of CS. He was up actually by about 15 gold.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, this Taric is going hard on the Fizz, but he's just going to leap away, going untargetable. That Flag and Drag will not connect onto Fizz.
Yeah, that Flag and Drag missing harder than Mythic's jokes.
Yeah. And I think it's also worth noting, though, that this is an Infernal Drake, is our first Drake for 2 games in a row. So we likely will see continued action around bot side to play for that Drake. And actually right now, the Elise lands the Cocoon on the Mordekaiser. Chum the Waters lands. They're looking to proc the Electrocute. Easy kill for Shrek Wazowski. Elise goes up in the air. And they cannot continue the kill onto Decane. Actually, Jarvan's looking to hopefully get a kill back, but Fizz is going aggressive under tower, forcing the Jarvan flash. The Fizz flash forward gained the kill, but actually right now there's a fight bot lane as well. That the Taric ultimate saving them, despite the Blitzcrank exhaust being burned. Actually right now though, the Dazzle does not land. Here comes that Shen. The Shen ultimate actually to save Cookie. But it looks as if both teams will just disengage because that Shen is low health from the Malphite ultimate that happened in the top lane earlier from Malphite having double buffs.
Yeah, I'll say right now that Malphite is strong. Actually, I do not believe it's a Malphite ultimate because he used the ultimate just shortly ago to get that to help assist that double kill for the Jarvan. In addition, OG Tim dying to the tower on the back end of that. All he had to do was stay out of tower range, and it would have been as clean 2 for 0. But instead, it ended up a 2 for 1. It caused there to be no jungler on the map to help respond to this top lane push, and it looks like first tower might go over to the side of Come Dawn, and it will. That Malphite
first
getting that
and
first
second tower.
And second tower. almost forgot to talk about the bottom lane. Overall, again, the macro from Come Dawn.
Oh, actually, here comes the Jarvan EQ into Cataclysm onto OG Tim, and White Gold actually picks up the kill onto the Kane with Elise managing to get out. Right now, here comes that that stun rather, onto Blitzcrank, and he's going to die for his troubles. Mordekaiser, though, tanking that turret, cannot pursue any further. Actually, but here comes Chum the Waters on the back end, and he's just going to one-shot the Mordekaiser. Shrek Wazowski with the good fish, able to pick up a return kill on the back end of that.
Yeah, honestly, a very good counter roam there from Shrek Wazowski. He's showing a much better proficiency on this Fizz than he was on Katarina.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got 7 stacks on that Dark Seal, as well as already being halfway to his Hextech Proto Belt.
Yeah, the fact that he does have this much lead will mean that he'll be much more relevant in the mid game. And the late game even, because of the fact of how early he's scaling up. Right now, it's not the mid lane Mordekaiser that's doing all the damage anymore. It's the AD carry and it's the jungler.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, though, we have kind of this wet noodle fight that we talked of going on top lane. Just some trades back and forth, although rather aggressive trades. But here comes Elise, forcing the Malphite to use the ult defensively to get away.
Yeah, the Malphite ult is a great escape. You can't stop it. You can't CC it. You can't block it. I mean, the one thing that blocks it is a Poppy Steadfast Presence, but Poppy was banned, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah. And it's going to result in an Infernal Drake picked up for the side of Come Dawn. Very good response to be able to pick that off of seeing the jungler for Rhombus head top lane.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, though, that, again, this is a Mordekaiser comp. Dragons are doubly effective for them. They're going to be able to push mid with this dragon.
Yeah, the only way this composition could really get more effective with dragons is if there was a Shyvana on the team too to get that extra damage off of the doubled effects.
Yeah, which that Chum the Waters, though, is going to land onto Varus, but the Varus was very smart and got the Chains of Corruption out in time to stop Fizz from being able to follow up on that. So right now, though, Varus is taking the tower, but they will proceed to get it, and it appears as if, actually, here comes in the TP from Malphite. It appears as if they're going to follow up on the fight. Right now, the dunk comes in onto OG Tim, and he is slain, not able to get to execute onto the Varus.
And this is one thing that I praised Come Dawn in last game. I'm going to praise them again. They are...
Oh my goodness!
Ooh.
Cookie was just almost slain by the Comet. And right now, though, that Taric ultimate is letting them tank the tower and go forward. Right now, though, JZ Bai is able to barely get out. Lots of deaths going on. Jarvan slays Shen. And I mean, right now, Come Dawn is just looking to even get tier 2 mid. And they do.
I think Decane is just saying to the entire team of the Rhombus heads, no, this is my AD carry. You cannot have him. Because that is the first time in the past like 2 or 3 minutes I've seen Decane just immediately hop on.
Wow, the flash by Mordekaiser misses. He misses the E onto Fizz. Excuse me, actually. Oh, and that Shen ultimate will not save. Actually, it does save OG Tim. Some very clutch plays right there by Team Rhombus head.
Question is, how long does it save him for? That's still within the range of the flag and drag engage. This is still within the range of the Malphite ultimate.
Absolutely, but Blitzcrank here is... Oh, and he gets the Malphite, and that's actually going to be a clean kill there for Bomb. Much needed. It appears as if, though, Jarvan's actually going to try to get this red buff on the back end. I think they just need to take that blast gun out of there.
Yeah, the Tart needs to take the blast cone. The Jarvan can flag and drag out, so he should be safe overall. His flag and drag is...
Oh, actually, Chum the Waters lands on the Mordekaiser, and Shrek Wazowski is on a rampage. He just one-shots that Mordekaiser, something that Katarina did not have the potential to do.
Yeah, something I did notice and forgot to mention last fight is I didn't know Elise could repel to plants.
She can. Plants are a targeted ability, and so any basically point and click, such as a Jax Q or Elise repelling to them, they can be targeted for such purposes.
Huh. I did not know that. I'm not a jungle player, so some of the specific nuances of some of these more high skill cap jungle champions I'm not necessarily familiar with, but that is something very interesting. And the reason that we're talking about this, like I said, there's a little bit of a lull right now, nothing really going on except for Decane might be caught.
Yeah. Gold forcing to flash away, and he is just obliterated. I mean, he stayed there way too long.
Did I say Decane? I meant to say White Gold.
Yes.
No, I'm joking. I meant Decane because of the fact that the Shen and Fizz were there with with White Gold, but his team just abandoning him, just like, oh, wait, guys, okay, I'm dead.
Yeah, and this is going to result in a Rift Herald for Team Comdon.
Yeah, overall, I say the fact that we're saying come down this much just tells you how I would say that they're just still able to outplay despite a better response and better draft from the side of the Rhombus heads. Their macro is so much better right now that they are just leading objectively. It is 4 towers to 0, 1 dragon to 0, a Rift Herald to nothing. It's just going for it. And now this, in addition, it's resulting in them getting CS leads in 2 lanes by a margin of 30 or more. So with this Malphite having about a 30 CS advantage, this Varus having a 37 CS advantage, it's just working out for them.
That's partly negated, though, by the 30 CS advantage that Fizz has over Mordekaiser.
Well, that only negates one of them.
That's true. But right now, though, it looks as if, it looks like Team Rhombus Head is really just relying on those picks, as we mentioned in draft.
And the picks are working to an extent. Yes, you're nailing the Mordekaiser, but the Varus and the Jarvan are still free to deal out whatever damage they want. This Mordekaiser doesn't need to be the primary damage source. Varus is building this lethality build. Jarvan is building this AD Bruiser Burst build with the Warrior.
Oh, actually, right now, though, the White Gold's landing a pick onto I Save My Team, and he's popping the Cosmic Radiance to get out. It appears to do the trick. There comes that Malphite ultimate onto Elise. Elise goes down early. Chum the Waters lands onto the Varus. He is one-shot. That Shen ultimate, the combo I mentioned, the Cataclysm, though, comes down onto Fizz. They've got him trapped in the Cataclysm. I'm not sure if that pull was the best, but it came through anyways, and there's the exhaust down onto him. And Xayah will take down Mordekaiser. Here comes that Xayah ultimate. The exhaust goes down onto Fizz. He's looking to get out, but that stun lands onto him, and that's bye-bye to Fizz and bye-bye to Shen as well.
One thing that we are seeing this time is Gopher actually doing a lot of the carry work. He got a double kill in that fight, I believe, and he took almost no damage from it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's getting the Shincox. Yeah. Well, I think they're doing it to save the minion. Well, no, it is.
Oh, no, he's lagging.
Oh, he has left the game. Yes, he is disconnected. That's a tragedy. He
still survived.
Yeah, it appears so as if Team Rhombus Head is not relenting. This Elise is going forward, They're looking for these return kills. They're taking any opportunity they can get. The Cocoon lands. Here comes down that challenging smite. But Jay-Z Bai is just going to snipe OG Tim with that Varus Q.
Yeah, Tim, good guy Tim, sparing the enemy top laner for lagging out, but then just hopping in, getting a little bit greedy, and dying as a result. I say good guy, but not necessarily the wisest guy at that moment.
And here comes that Chum the Waters, and it goes wide right now by the Fizz. But Jarvan's able to flag and drag out. Fizz is perhaps going in too far. Here comes the Shen, taunt flash, very good by Shen. But can they follow up on it? It does not appear as if they can. White Gold now is just looking to retreat as well as Cookie. Appears as if they've bitten off more than they can chew. Here comes that Jarvan going forward, but Shrek Wazowski slays him as well as Mordekaiser. That's a triple kill for Fizz. He's absolutely annihilating them. This is a fed Fizz, but Varus is able to put in work, and that's a quadra kill. Oh my goodness. Even though Varus is able to get the return kill, a quadra kill is just what they needed, although we must mention this was partly due to the fact that Malphite had disconnected and was not part of the fight.
It wasn't even 4v4. But however, that pressure from the Malphite, my question is, why haven't they paused the game yet?
I do not know. That's questioning, because this was not blind pick, which means that League does allow game pauses. Any draft style mode pause is enabled on, although it is not on blind. So I am confused that there's no pause. Perhaps it is because of our stream delay that there's no pause. I don't know.
There should be a pause regardless.
Yeah, I am unaware of why. But it appears as if both teams, or rather, Team Comdon has agreed to play on. So it is what it is. 4v5s happen. This is a very fed Fizz, though. I think Fizz is paying dividends. What do you think right now of how this game is going?
This game is going very much in the favor, I would say much more evenly still in the favor of Comdon, but it's much more even than it was before. Also, the fact of the matter is they still haven't paused the game.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. So, oh, that's a good buffer right there by Jarvan getting the EQ out despite the cocoon landing. And Shen right now is just on split push duty with that Tiamat, actually able to finally clear some waves as well as the Bomby Cinder. But right now he's actually getting rotated on. Here comes that Jarvan flag and drag, but he's able to get out of range of the Cataclysm. So good moves by Shen.
Again, a lot of this lead is being thrown because of the fact that they still have yet to pause while waiting for Gopher to fix the internet issue. This is astounding, the fact that they haven't paused yet.
Yeah. Also, something I'd like to mention that's actually very good about the Mordekaiser for Cumdon is the fact that he's a manaless champion. They're able to give the blue over to the Varus, who needs it quite a lot. Yes, and here comes the pause finally. Mordekaiser asking if they can pause, and Team Rhombus Head confirming that is an acceptable procedure.
I mean, yeah, it's not one of those things that can we do it. It's like, yeah, it's just you pause in a scrim when one of your guys disconnects. At the same time, though, looking at this match, guys, everyone, if you can hear me, you can pause. In a situation, you are allowed to pause if a member of your team disconnects.
Yes, absolutely. You know, something I'd like to talk about, though, which it's been working well, although I think it falls off more, is that this Jarvan's gone Warrior into Black Cleaver, and he's sitting on double longsword. This could be working into a Caulfields or a Serrata Dirk, something along those lines, to possibly go Maw of the Malmortius, or for like a Dustblade. I mean, what do you think we're going to see from this Jarvan?
I think we could, after that, you could see a Yomus, you could see a Dustblade. It'll really just depend. We could even see, like you said, the Maw, because of how much damage Elise and Fizz combined are doing. I think the Maw would be a good pickup here because of the ability to protect themselves from the Fizz. But I would have bought a No Magic Mantle rather than that second Longsword.
Yeah, absolutely. Perhaps it was just he did not have enough because the Null Magic cost 100 gold more than a longsword. Perhaps it just didn't work out on cost there.
He's sitting on over 1,000 gold.
Well, when he last purchased, perhaps he didn't.
Possibly.
I'm not really keeping track. And Mordekaiser reconnected, and they unpaused the game, and now they have repaused it. So, not really sure what's going on here. Appears as if we're experiencing... The teams are saying that they are ready, so I think that we are going to see... Yes, it is an unpause. We are back into the game. And just to double check, I'm running on 22 minutes. How about you, Hyper?
I am running on 22 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yes, we are on the same page then. I'd also like to point
out... I
out...
was trying to rig the giveaway. That way I can enter as many times as possible.
No. I'd also like to mention, this Taric is running Righteous Gold. He's looking to be the main engage for his team. What do you think of this?
It's not a bad idea, given the fact that he is the one starting these fights with the Dazzle, followed up by the Bastion. There's a lot of the fact that you really just... There's a lot of going on here. He's also going to be the tankiest member on his team. The fact that the Righteous Glory does get the armor, synergizes well with his defenses, with Bastion, with Tark's kit as a whole. Overall, it's not a bad pickup on this champion.
Yeah, and I think it's also worth noting, though, that the Fizz has wisely chosen to go with the Seeker's Arm Guard so that he can go in, pop the Zhonya's. I mean, I'm kind of surprised to see the amp tone over the stopwatch, but, you know, to go in, pop Zhonya's, and be very effective for his team.
Stopwatch don't give damage, brah.
That's true, very true. He needs that 28.
I quoted a friend of mine who's a Fizz main. He says always go Codex over Stopwatch second, and his reasoning is Stopwatch don't give. Codex over Stopwatch. Codex don't give. So Codex gives damage, brah.
Yeah. And right now we're seeing the versatility of the double teleport, that Fizz being able to run the side lane, whereas Mordekaiser is forced to group with his team because he has no global to reconnect. And actually right now, though, it appears as if the Elise and the Shen are caught out. That Chains of Corruption landed. The Shen ultimate is not enough to keep them alive. And they're just popping everything onto keeping their team alive. And both Shen and Elise are picked out and forced to teleport out of Shrek Wazowski. I think this is going to result in a Baron. I mean, what were they doing there, Hyper?
Not quite sure. I think that was an over-aggression, counting on the fact that, yes, he's a 5v4, but in that 5, 2 of the members was on the other side of the top lane tower, so doesn't really work well if it's a 5v4 in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now they're actually having to pull off the Baron. It's doing considerable work onto the Mordekaiser. He's not as tanky as he was last game, sitting on just 2 items. Oh my goodness, that Barret's heal does so much. The Blitzcrank, though, is actually overextended, and he's going to be stunned up right now, and they're just chasing him down. Here comes the Malphite ultimate landing on Desire. Desire did not ultimate in time. Kitros kills Cookie. Right now, though, Shrek Wazowski is looking to get away. Has Jay-Z by, kills OG Tim for the second time. This is twice now in the series of this Baron. The OG Tim has gone down. He is 2-8 on this Elise.
Yeah, it's not a pick that's working out well for them. Also, your Fed is a Fizz. You're not going to be able to 2v5 this. Not with this Fed as the Maokai and the Varus are.
Yeah, absolutely right now. And Mordekaiser is going aggressive on the Fizz, ignites and ults him. Oh, and the Varus, oh my goodness. Oh, Mordekaiser actually able to get him with that damage over time. This is not a clean ace, although it is a pseudo ace as Blitzcrank and Zaya had just respawned. And G Topher actually goes down to the Baron Nasher. Bit of a misplay on their part.
Yeah, they'll still get Baron off of this play. I said they still have the damage, they still have the sustain, tankiness to be able to get this Baron. The Elise at this point, if the Elise goes in, she will die, so it's not really. Oh my god!
But Tarek gets pulled out right now, and he lands a 2-man stun. Here comes the Jarvan, flag and drag, and OG Tim out. He goes down. He's 2-9. What is he doing?
Hey, 5 more deaths, and he will equal the most deaths in an LCS. I'm sorry, 6 more deaths, and he'll equal the most deaths in an LCS.
And White Gold there pulls over Mordekaiser. That's not smart at all. Here comes the Platypus of the dunk on to Blitzcrank. He should have just left well enough alone. What's he doing? Pulling members over when they are down in numbers.
I'm not really sure what was going on there. That was a little bit of a questionable.
Actually, Shin caught flashes, lands a 3-man flash. Here comes the fish onto the Mordekaiser. He is dead. That's actually going to be a shutdown on Varus as well. A double kill for Fizz, I believe. And right now they're looking to chase their Jarvan and eliminate. Jarvan's out of mana. That's a triple kill for Fizz. He's just popping off. He's trying to solo carry this game on Fizz.
Guess how many people of Come Dawn still have Baron?
None.
Literally just the Tarek.
Yeah. But I mean, they can
also,
still group around the Tarek.
It was a Desk Blade.
Yes, he is going for the one-shot build on Jarvan, looking to eliminate either the Zaya or the Fizz. I guess possibly the Elise, but, the Zaya and the Fizz being your 2 main damage threats.
Yeah, the Zaya, I say right now, you do have the Fizz being that primary damage threat, but when he goes down, the team really doesn't do as well.
Yeah, interesting pickup here on the Runaan's Hurricane from Zaya. I see most going second item of either Rapid Fire Cannon or the Static Shib, the Runaan's being a little less orthodox.
Yeah, it is a little bit less orthodox, especially with the fact that the Zaya took press the attack. So now the fact that you do have a Runaan's Hurricane means that you essentially have no rune whatsoever unless you're fighting a target 1v1 with no minions around.
Yeah, and it's also worth noting, though, that Fizz has now completed his Zanyas. He's sitting on 3.5 items with the fully stacked Dark Seal. This is a big Fizz.
Yeah, it is a very juicy, very big Fizz. One of the best parts about it is that he's going to be able to blow up anyone except for Malphite at this point. Malphite is just now getting some MR. He's got the Negatron Cloak, so he will be able to survive at least the initial burst. But Fizz is a level up on anyone from the side of Come Dawn. But however, out of the gold advantage that on his team, he's the only member with a gold advantage. Every other member of his team is down by over 1,000 gold. Actually, the lowest deficit by anyone other than the Fizz is 1,600 gold.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's looking as though, like right now, Come Dawn to crash this, inhibitor and just take it. The Elise flank is not working. What does he think? Oh my goodness, this Elise is just not working. The Zanyas is popped to block Malphite ultimate with the Chains of Corruption land. The Shin standing 9 will not hold him. Mordekaiser is tanking the tower, and the Cataclysm dunk takes down the the Mordekaiser rather, and it looks like they're looking to end the game off of this.
They could end the game, but then again, the Shin does have a teammate, so he will be able to clear a little bit. He is getting tanked.
Oh, and they land the pull onto Malphite, but there's a knockup to follow, and Jay-Z by with a double kill. This is good game. This is a clean sweep by Come Dawn. Very well played from their part. Well executed comp.
Overall, just a very clean series played from Come Dawn. Very good compositionally, very good in terms of execution, very good macro. There's a lot going on here.
Absolutely, and I mean, the Fizz had a very strong game, but he was just not able to carry.
Yeah, there was only so much you could do. If they had won, I would have given the MVP to the Fizz. But now, it is my time to give my MVP for the series. Looking at what happened, looking at over the 2 games, who played the best? My MVP is going to be Decane. I have to give it to the double Jarvan guy. Come on, man. I'll say his engages were absolutely on point. He needed to carry, he did. He needed a tank, he did. Every time he was needed to do something, Decane did it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely a possible one. Duquesne, very deserving, but I think G. Topher also did a large amount of work, even in this second game, disconnecting, getting behind an experience and CS because of it, and still managing to stay relevant and really provide some awesome ultimates.
Yeah, he was providing a lot of awesome ultimates, but again, I still think Decane just was the largest contributor to that. Everyone from the side of Come Dawn played extremely well, but one of them played above them all. And Mr. Decane, I tip my hat to you, sir.
Yes, very well played, very well played. Showing both sides of the, he played Jarvan both games, I do believe, showing both the tank, the Cinder Hulk Knight's Vow side, and the one shot Warrior Dustblade side.
Yeah, the fact that he did have the flexible build, the fact that he did show a little bit of versatility, does just show like how good of a player that Decane is. Honestly, I would definitely be looking forward to, I would say, looking at him when you face this team Come Dawn in the Dominate League. So that has been it for us tonight. I'm unless any of the admins have anything to say, which they need to sort of come in and do. Come in and say. I think that will be it for us tonight. I know I had a lot of fun. Voodoo, what about you?
Yeah, lots of fun. You know, it's great to see other teams take on the meta, how they think the game should be played, and I think we got to see two very different styles tonight. One proving more successful, at least in this match, but we're starting to get a read on what the meta will be for the upcoming season.
Yeah, I think that Come Dawn definitely has the momentum coming into the season, and it will be interesting to do. To watch them as the season develops. All right, guys. Seeing as the admins have not responded and have not came into anything, I'll say also the winner of the second drawing is MLB Blackjack.
Yes, congratulations to him.
So congratulations, you have won the drawing. You will receive a 10 RP, and that's it for us tonight, guys. I've been Hypertension,
and I've been Voodoo,
and we will see you guys next time.
Thank you for watching.